Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Father James. And I am obviously in the church at St. Peter's, and I'm sitting in front of the altar, and I have a cup of coffee, and I know that I wondered, should I have coffee this week? Well, I have to have coffee with Father James, so I decided to put it in my Our Lady of Guadalupe mug. There you go. Perfectly reverent, I think. And besides, God made coffee as well, so I think it would be okay. Now, I'm here in this location, and we're actually, you may have noticed this, we're actually using the house system, the AV systems, the inbuilt cameras we have right in the church for two reasons. Number one, our regular cameraman is on vacation. And so rather than going up the hill to our studio, we decided to come down here and for me to sit in this place before the altar as a kind of teaser for a new video series we plan to do. Here's what we're planning to do. We're planning to call it Before the Altar. Now, some of you may remember the interview I did with Father Rob, where the two of us sat before the altar. We used the house system, and we had different camera angles, and we did a live questionnaire. So we had live questions coming in over YouTube, and we were able to have a bit of an interview and conversation with Rob, which was absolutely fantastic. It was our chance to say goodbye to him, if you remember, before he went to his new parish. So one night I was thinking about that, and I thought, what a great way to perhaps do a monthly video. Imagine once a month I interview someone, maybe a member of the staff team, maybe a ministry leader in the parish, someone in the parish, and we just kind of explore life and faith a little bit, and we do it here before the altar. Now, why are we sitting before the altar? Why are we calling it before the altar? Well, we're calling it before the altar because we're sitting in front of the altar because it's the best, what we call focal distance for all the different cameras and for the lighting. So it just so happens it's the best spot. But isn't there something about the idea of coming before the altar as kind of a moment of opening our hearts or laying it all down, or a moment of truth, of opening up to God? And so, yeah, I think the title is fitting. It doesn't just reference the fact that we're sitting in front of the altar. So we'll be coming out, I think, with the first of this new series, I think in September, and we're going to be interviewing our new Deacon David Viscount, to begin with. So that's that. Now, on a more serious note, I have a little bit of news for you that I give you with a heavy heart. And it's something that we've been kind of not sitting on, but sitting with, perhaps, wrestling with, thinking about how do we communicate this? What's the best way to communicate it? And when is the best time to communicate this in a respectful way? And it's time to fill you in. Our new director of evangelization, our Alpha coordinator, Nolan Conrad, many of you have had a chance to meet him. 2 weeks after he started his job, he started suffering very intense headaches, which led to other problems. Basically, to simplify things, dear Nolan has been suffering from intense neurological symptoms since the end of July. And he's tried to work, but these symptoms have actually been quite severe. And he's gone multiple times to the hospital. He's undergone different tests, CAT scans. He's waiting for results of an MRI. They've tested him for brain tumor. I don't want to get into the details, but put it this way, it's actually quite serious. And poor Nolan is as you can imagine, is brokenhearted about this. He's very confused. He's very afraid. He's a newly married guy with a young baby. He and his wife moved to the city to take up this job, and within 2 weeks, he suffered this affliction. Some of you have asked me, well, how come we haven't heard anything about the Alpha team or the plans? It's because we were dealing with this, and we we've just been waiting each week thinking, is Nolan going to get better? Is this perhaps something simple like a virus or something? We just don't know. And waiting for the results of tests. And so at this point, we still don't have clarity. Nolan doesn't yet have a clear diagnosis or prognosis. And so there is uncertainty, but we've gotten to the point now that we can't sit on this anymore. We've got to let you in on this and give you the reason why things haven't started happening. We haven't yet formed any teams for Alpha. There was an event we planned to have actually tonight that we had to cancel. There was a lot of things we were going to do, and we've been waiting. And Nolan has, he came in last Monday. He looked terrible, like he was very unwell, and I sent him home. And he came in today, and after our staff meeting, I told him to go home. I said, Nolan, your job right now is to get healthy, is to get better. And so we're working with him. We're just, and I'm saying, let's wait. We can't figure anything out really until we have a proper diagnosis. And so there's the primary question of Nolan himself and our care for him and walking with him and his wife Eve. And I'm sharing this with you with his permission and asking you to please pray for him. He's, as you can imagine, quite scared because, of course, this raises a whole uncertainty about his future as well. And so we're trying to do the right thing, in this and support him and his wife and his family. Hopefully, in the coming week or two, we'll have more information and be able to help him in a concrete way. That being said, obviously the window has closed for us to do the things we had hoped to do with Alpha in September. Now I know up until this past weekend we were communicating we were still going to do 3 Alphas and do all this. It's because, well, what else we were going to do? We didn't know anything for sure. We were hoping that today he would have had some test results, but they haven't come back yet. So as it stands right now, after conversation last week with the leadership team and speaking to the staff, we're moving to a plan B. Now, what is plan B? Plan B is basically, we're going to make it up as we go along. We're gonna fly by the seat of our pants. Because sometimes in life, you don't have any other option than to do the best you can. This situation is a terrible situation. Obviously, it's no one's fault. It's a tragic situation over which we have no control. So what is plan B? Well, right away, what we're looking at doing is instead of having the 3 Alphas, the evening Alpha, the morning Alpha, and online Alpha, what we're going to do is we're going to aim for the evening Alpha and online, so just 2. And I'm asking Brad, our Director of Communications, and Brenda, our office administrator, to come together and help carry this to get it going. We have many, many amazing and gifted people in our parish who have served on Alpha Team, who are willing to serve on Alpha Team, to take leadership roles. Many of you have experience in Alpha, and I know no one's contacted you so far. There's a reason for that, but that's going to change in the coming weeks. So what I'm asking you, if you're listening, and number 1, please pray for this, and secondly, we're going to need your help to try to do this. Here's the thing. If you're going to do Alpha for real, we've got to do it right. We've got to do it well. We can't do it poorly. And secondly, we can't lose the momentum. I don't want to lose the momentum that we had from this past summer, which was amazing. A lot of our parishioners' lives were touched. Their faith was deepened. Their spiritual lives were enriched. People made friendships. People experienced community. The small group meetings in people's homes started happening spontaneously without us even organizing it. So the magic started to happen, and we don't want to lose that momentum. We want to keep going with it. So another part of Plan B, you heard us over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about what we plan to do in September with regard to youth ministry, program for children in Sunday mornings, and for family catechesis. In short, we're not going to be able to do everything that we plan to do. We just can't do it because we don't have the staffing to mobilize the volunteers. Again, people often say, well, why don't you just get volunteers to do it? Yeah, that's the plan. But guess what? It's a lot of work to get volunteers to do things. There's a lot of work to get other people to do work. to support them, to form a team, to organize. This all takes time and energy. We simply can't do it all. So here's the plan. We are going to go ahead with the youth ministry for junior high and high school. So that's still going ahead. With regard to the planned children's ministry and the family catechesis, we're going to postpone that until after Thanksgiving weekend. But at that point, we should have more information. We should have a greater sense of what we can do with the resources we have, who's going to step forward for Alpha, and having some of our staff helping to drive this. So again, like in so many times in the past, I'm asking for your patience as we try to make the best of a very difficult situation. And with all of these things, these kinds of programming to support the faith enrichment and development from our children right through to our seniors and all ages is part of the parish we want to be. So it's not a question of if it's going to happen. It's really a question of when it's going to happen, but it will happen eventually. So please keep this initiative in your prayers, and please, please, please pray for poor Nolan and his wife Eve. I can't imagine, I said this to him today, I can't imagine what this must be like for you, and my heart really, really breaks for them. So that's our planned schedule. The first night of Alpha, for the evening Alpha, will be September 20th, and on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to 8:30 will be the online Alpha on Zoom. So it'll be the Monday night and the Wednesday night for online Alpha. So that's the plan. So on another issue, we spoke last week about the Archbishop coming to our parish on Thanksgiving weekend for the 9 a.m. Mass and the 11 a.m. Mass. He's coming to visit the parish for the first time and to announce the opening of phase 2 of consultation, the beginning of a consultation and discernment process around the question of the closure of some of our buildings, Immaculate Conception Church and St. Paul's Church. So he's coming to open that phase of consultation up. It's a great opportunity for us to meet with our chief shepherd. So I'm going to encourage us to, I know a lot of people like the 4 p.m. or the 7 p.m. Try to come to one of the morning masses. I understand if you can't make it, but it'd be great to get as many people here as possible. Hopefully, size limitations will be lifted by then. And besides the point, in all my years as a priest, when I've got a Sunday night Mass on Thanksgiving weekend, I've often wondered, why do we do this? In fact, last year, here at this church, I think we had 12 people show up at Mass on Thanksgiving evening. So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to cancel Sunday night Mass that week. On Thanksgiving weekend, no Sunday night Mass. So come and join the Archbishop for this celebration of the Eucharist. And we have also been speaking with the Archbishop about confirmation. So attention, all you confirmation families, we actually have a date that has been confirmed today with the Archbishop. It is going to be Sunday, November 7th at the 9 a.m. Mass. That is the day we're going to have confirmations. The bishop's going to be here. You heard it from me right now. So write down the date, and if you have a teenager, a young person who was in the formation process this past year and is ready to take the step, please contact the parish office at this address that you see right here, and we'll get you in the mix and get that going. One final topic is about the residence. As you know, there's been a number of priests living in the residence for many, many years, and last year when I came here, we made the move to kind of put not an absolute separation, but a bit of a boundary between the office and the residence, because there really wasn't. The doors were open. You could smell the cooking smells. The priests wandered in and out. The parishioners sometimes wandered in and out of the residence, which was, I don't think, was the greatest thing for either of us. And so what we have now, in many ways, is a priest residence that is connected to the parish, but is somewhat distinct. And we have the office, and we've even been working on a new entranceway. So the front entrance for the residence is actually around the back, and we're going to be undergoing a bit of a beautification project on that doorway to make it more welcoming in the coming weeks. So we have the residence. Now, the reason I'm telling you about the residence is that in this coming week, we have 2 new priests coming to live in the residence. Now, they're not being assigned to the parish, they're living in the residence. One is Father Ron Cairns, who some of you may know. He has been assigned to pastoral ministry at the Dartmouth General Hospital, which is going to be a fantastic help for us here at the parish. So he's going to be living in residence with us, and the other priest is a young Polish priest who is in his 30s, who is an oblate priest who has been in Western Canada for a little while. He was a missionary in Colombia, so he's fluent in Spanish. But he's coming to Halifax to improve his English. And outside of his classes and the work that he has, he may be making an appearance from time to time. He's welcomed. We've told him he's welcome to be involved, to be with us, but he may also be doing some pastoral ministry with us as well. We'll learn more about that. His name is Father Tomasz. I forget his last name, but it's Father Tomasz, which is Polish for Thomas. So I wanted to give you that update. We're going to have a full house. We're going to have Father Tomasz, Father Charlie, Bishop Curry, Father Ron Cairns, and Father Johnny. So there's 5 suites in the house, and they're all going to be full. So full house. So I'll give you more information about that in the coming weeks, but that's about everything I have for you for today. So I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy this final day of the summer. And all you kids out there getting ready for school to begin, blessings on you. It's been a wonderful summer. I remember when I was young, summers used to seem to last for years, and I hope yours did. And I hope you have a wonderful beginning and a wonderful first day of school next week. God bless everyone.